everyone, we're on site, a little bit different, right?
A little bit different.
American Whiskey Experience. I'm James. To my left, your right,
Maybe.
Pete. And we have a special guest, actually. We are very, very thankful for actually to be off-site out of our studio.
Yeah, studio.
We're in a garage with a nice bar here, garage bar.
Garage bar.
Friend of ours that we've known for, geez, I don't know how many
long
years.
time.
Since we were little kids on the bus.
Yeah.
Jay Cusack. Jay, welcome.
Glad to be here.
Hey, no, thank you.
Awesome.
Real quick again, so we're off-site here. We're in Jay's garage bar.
Garage bar. So.
And I think, you got to tell us a little about it, right, Pete?
Yeah, so that's kind of what was our idea. We wanted to kind of come over, have a couple drinks together.
Yeah.
Give us a little rundown of the garage bar.
Absolutely, love to. So for me, we all met, grew up, Brantford.
Yeah.
It's our home, still is.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I always say, take you out of Brantford, you can't take the Brantford out of us.
Pretty much.
So and here we are. We're all good friends, long time, and we're back together.
Right.
But it was time. COVID hit, and it was time to put the house up. And so we sold our house in Brantford. 46 years I was in Brantford. Came here to North Haven.
Yep.
And when we found this house, we were very fortunate. It had a lot more amenities and a lot more, let's say, real estate for me to spread out in.
Sure.
I gave the wife the house, and I said, just leave me alone in the garage.
There you go.
The previous owners had all the tools and nuts and bolts, and
Right.
I'm not a nuts and bolts and tool kind of guy,
Right.
so that's just there for ambiance.
Right.
And for that,
It looks great, actually. It looks
They're really props. It's props.
if you need a hammer, I have a few.
Yeah.
It's fine.
They're clean. They're very clean.
Absolutely.
Right.
So while we were here,
Yeah.
and we moved in, and as I work and live now here in North Haven, and so a lot of friends would be coming over and visiting.
Right.
Off topic, my wife got ill,
Yeah.
and so we were having a lot of company. And the one thing that she always said, and this is where we'll leave that, is I don't want to talk about what's going on in the house. You need to go to the garage.
Right.
So I was coming down here, we were sitting on the workbenches, it was uncomfortable.
Right, a couple chairs up.
Right, and so I brought in a patio bar that's out back. It's still there,
Right.
by where the pool
Right.
used to be. So St. Patrick's Day, we had a nice party, and it was funny. During COVID, it was COVID safe, everybody social distanced, and everybody had their masks on. We're outside in the garage, but it's a patio bar, it was grated, and we were trying to do shots of the Irish, and they kept spilling.
Right.
We kept losing soldiers.
Yeah, no good.
And my captain, who does not drink, by the way, came up to, but he's into woodcraft and building things, and he says, you know what you need is you need a pallet bar.
Yeah.
Right.
I said, I do. I said, how are we gonna do that? He goes, well, you got to get 4 pallets. We're gonna make it happen.
Right.
These are the nicest pallets I've seen.
Right.
They're in good
So
shape.
They're in good shape
Right.
to begin with.
again, being a municipal employee for the town, we have friends
In high places.
or low.
Or low,
we
whatever you
managed
look at
to research and find 4 good pallets, and then the project kind of stalled, and work was work, and everything was happening.
Sure.
And then one day he just called up and said, "Hey, we're building a pallet bar today."
Yeah.
So put it out on a group text, and my entire shift actually showed up.
Oh wow.
None of us worked, just the captain.
Right.
You're there for moral support.
And he had this conception in his head. I said, "Jeff, do you have it written down?" He's like, "No." He's like, "We got the pallets, right?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "We're gonna build it." And he just gets out his tape measure, and he's got this trailer, right? And he starts bringing table saws and miter boxes and all this stuff off, and I'm like, God, I felt like I was back in 7th grade.
Woodshop.
Mr.
home ec.
Martell or
Yeah.
something.
I
Yeah,
was like,
back in the day.
and I know how to use these. He's like, put my tools down. I'm like, all right, fine.
Yep.
So I held the tape measure, and he just started cutting. And after a 30-pack of banquet beers, go
Right,
high right away.
Right.
Got to have the stubbies.
Yeah, you do.
The
Right.
rest of us were bellied up around the bar. It took him about 2.5, 3 hours.
Nice.
4 pallets later, with a nice top on. He
Yeah.
put a little
Yeah.
edge on it.
The edge is
I know,
perfect.
look at
mean,
that,
this is
I know.
great.
Even when he was done, he's like, well, we got to make it official. It needs a foot rail.
Right.
Yeah.
I know.
So we got the
I'll tell
foot
you.
rail.
No joke.
And with that, he donated the director chairs,
Nice.
brought in some patio
Tell ya.
furniture.
There you go.
The patio bar got moved back outside, and that is honestly the history. So that's how.
All right.
I'll tell you, this is pretty cool. It's I was thinking about doing one myself. I just can't find high grade pallets like you did.
I know.
But I mean, this thing is perfect, and the size is perfect as well too.
It is.
I mean, you can fit 3 people easily up here.
Yeah.
Pony up. You can have 2 people back there if you want. You sit back, relax. You have a little TV back there, which is cool.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's a great place to
chill out, relax.
do risky reviews
Right.
on American Whiskey Experience.
So why don't we pour a drink?
Yeah. So what do you want? Hey, this is your bar. Which way do you want to go? You want to go right, left, right? Where do you want to go?
Want to try the cab finish? Or
What do you want to do first? Whatever you want to say. James here, Pete, Jay.
And we are American Whiskey Experience.
American Whiskey Experience. So, if you watch a couple other videos, and I apologize for the editing job and some of the pictures of my toes and butt and all that crazy stuff that I put in there, but we had some technical difficulties, so, it is what it is. But we're here now, and we're drinking Maker's Mark, Greens Farm Spirits.
So this is a store pick from Greens Farms. This is the Marshmallow Chocolate Bomb from those guys. I might have some details on this one. I'm going to look for a second. Bear with me.
So, first of all, big thing right now, we're going up proof-wise from the first 2 that we had, right?
So I'm going to give you a little background on this one.
Yep.
So this is a Maker's Mark product. It is from Greens Farm Spirit, a barrel pick. So they had some samples from Makers, and they went ahead and selected a specific barrel for this. It's bottled specifically for them. Again, Maker's Mark is a Beam Suntory product.
Okay, I just
I report.
This is a.
I want to be closer to you.
It's a 111.8 proof,
Yeah.
so it's got a little juice to it. Not an age statement on this one.
Nope.
It's 70% corn, 16% wheat, and 14% malted barley. And MSRP on this is about $70.
So just on the Greens Farm side of it, a lot of hype on this one.
I'll tell you, I am a big
lot of hype on this.
I got to be straight with you. I like their picks. I haven't had a bad one from them yet. We're kind of in line with our
palate.
We're in line with what we pick. I really like those guys.
So Marshmallow Chocolate Bomb. So do you get the marshmallow? Do you get the chocolate?
I definitely sense the chocolate. I definitely feel that chocolate. But for me, a lot of them are after. Like once they go down, what's left on the roof of my mouth is that sense of chocolate. This definitely, I feel the proof versus the other ones that we did. To me, this is more of your. This is more of your.
Explosion of
yeah.
flavor.
This is your house fire versus your campfire, like versus your smooth sipping.
Well, yeah,
the firefighters
in the 90s.
The firefighters who do the fire analogies.
Yeah.
But I know, and then this one just pops.
Right? Well, it makes sense.
I like it.
So for me, I get that marshmallow on the nose though.
Do you?
Yeah, when you put your nose in there and you sit there and take a big breath of this, I get that toasted marshmallow over the campfire.
Over the campfire.
Okay.
Not
like
blackened.
When it's
just
golden.
slightly golden. It's a golden marshmallow.
When you lightly toast that marshmallow over the campfire.
Yeah, it's not mushy inside.
No, not yet. You get that little golden brown little marshmallow.
Crisp.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
And it just, and then you get, then on the back of that nose, I get a little bit of that chocolate. It starts to creep in on the nose.
I'm not getting the chocolate on the nose, but I'm getting it on the palate, big time.
I haven't tasted it yet, but I definitely get the chocolate on the nose. I can see the baker's chocolate in there. But the toasted marshmallow for me is very apparent.
Learning.
Yeah.
The smell is much softer than when it hits.
Subtle.
So when I think of marshmallow, it's definitely. I get what you're saying.
Right.
Yes.
There's no wrong answers, and like I said, and it's your interpretation
right.
of what you're smelling and tasting. So I mean, feel free to speak out loud.
When I smell it, the aroma it's very soothing.
Yeah.
It's very it's very like silky,
yeah,
very soft.
It's nice.
And then the sip is that pop, but not like where you get the burn or the bourbon face. It's like. Pleasant.
There's
like,
heat.
Wow.
You get a little bit of a.
No, see,
I mean, at 111, 112 proof, you get it drinks at 100
see, now,
plus. For
I
me.
just took my first sip here. Now the chocolate comes in. On my first chip, so like
for me it was
on the tip of my tongue, I kind of get that chocolate I get that baker's chocolate.
So-
I still get a little sweetness. I get a little bit of caramel, a little bit of marshmallow sweetness.
I'm getting the marshmallow, and I understand the whole lightly charred marshmallow or nice brown.
More so on the
But,
nose.
I mean, on the palate though, I got that candy marshmallows that you get in the cereal.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Oh, Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
getting that marshmallow on the palate,
Okay.
and it's the sweetness of that, and the
Yeah.
oatiness of the cereal.
I can see that. But
I mean, that's
for me the predominant flavor in the palate is that chocolate.
but that finish is nice though too as well.
Again, the chocolate stays on the roof.
A
of the
nice
does,
smokiness,
yeah,
the chocolate, the char, very good. Finish is to me is very
Now-
is long.
Try this. Try taking a little bit and just like mouthwash. Just wash it in your mouth a little bit and see what sticks in there and what stays with you. It's going to be totally different. It's gonna you'll probably have a little bit of a bite and you're gonna be like, whoa, you know, kind of screwed everything up. But then you're gonna get a finish that might bring something out.
It'll stay there for a little longer.
Yeah, I mean, obviously swallowing after that was a little bit of more burn.
Yeah, there's like
Right.
a Listerine burn,
Yeah.
medical
Listerine.
type.
Yeah.
Did anything open up or anything? Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it does the opposite.
Sometimes there's too much all at once.
Yeah.
My
It take a little bit.
my
to
tongue is definitely
No,
feels the
little
sensation of the burn a little bit more.
Yeah. A little numbness like or something.
Yeah,
hmm
yep, a little numbness. Still, I don't know. I still
So the other thing is
have that.
don't be afraid to have a sip of water in between you.
Yeah, I did it before this one. And
See, this time when I did it, it gave me a little bit more. I don't want to say it was a sweetness, but it
On
was
the, on the palate,
there was a weediness.
you taste is weird, but I get a
And
little.
sometimes a wheat has sometimes like a wheat is a sweet
Well,
and spicy.
no, on the finish I get the spice. I get the cinnamon. I get a little baking spice. I get
maybe that's what. Maybe it's a little cinnamony. Yeah.
cinnamon, a little baking spice, a little heat in the end of it. But I also get that buttery sweet, like mid. I get in the middle of my tongue. I get almost like a little bit buttery,
Yeah.
not vanilla, but a touch of it.
It's buttery.
But it's good. It's really good.
There is some butteriness to it.
like
Silky
it.
smooth. I think you mentioned that before. It's like nice and smooth.
It definitely is silky smooth. I mean, the scent
So now
coming
this-
over,
so
drinking it.
so we've had a
keep
couple-
wanting to go back to it.
we've had a couple already. We've had a couple other pours.
Yeah.
This is the highest proof we've had yet.
This
So-
will be the highest proof, I think,
This
right?
will
Of
not
course, the rare breed.
rare breed will be, but not by much. There's a touch. But a lot of flavor here, and you know what? And Greaves.
Getting a lot
so-
of chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what.
And
leaves me
again, Greaves Farms, Wallingford, Norwalk, what's Westport?
Westport.
Westport, Norwalk, and then there's some you can find.
Green Farms is Westport, North Haven, Save Right, and
Sometimes.
then Wallingford.
Wallingford.
So those three
So
locations.
let me
Yeah.
ask this.
Yep, you
So
got
this is the marshmallow chocolate bomb.
it.
It is.
What? To
That's based off
So that's their impression of it.
Their
palate.
impression of
Their
it.
palate.
Sure.
yeah.
right, like so, like I'm trying to get to a what you feel is marshmallow finish. Like how did?
So not to say finish, but they're getting marshmallow out. So like I definitely get that toasted marshmallow in the nose.
So we talked about how they're distilled or aged and stuff like that. I mean,
Oh, you mean where it's
like
derived?
how to get to that
how do they
point?
derive that?
So,
I-
I think between the combination of the mash bill, like so the grain
Yeah.
process in the mash itself, they're going to boil and ferment, and then the oak contributes to some of the flavors. I think you start to get a lot of different flavors, notes,
Yeah.
smells from the whiskey, and for me, a lot of the sweetness comes from the grain. A lot of corn heavy, usually a little sweeter.
Mhm.
Sometimes bitterness, vanillas, woodiness comes from the barrel,
Right.
the char. When you start to add more of a high rye bourbon, I think you start to see some of that, more of that spice, more of that heat. more of the baking spices, more of the dill, more of the sometimes spearmint out of rye.
Okay.
So those are different characteristics, but like each process is very unique, and each barrel could be very different. And like some, like you talk about Wild Turkey. So Wild Turkey is a company that they'll blend for flavor.
Yeah.
So they'll make a barrel of Wild Turkey 101, and they'll have a similar mash bill, and they'll blend for a certain flavor, and that's what they'll bottle. So this is more of a unique barrel. They've picked a specific barrel bottled for them of this mash bill of Maker's Mark. But this is excellent. It's very good.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Listen, you also got to give props on the back with the picture of the
Yeah, isn't that pretty cool?
You know,
Listen,
usually,
let's
some
bring it back to our youth, because
Yeah.
there's never going to be a Ghostbusters ever better than
The first one.
The first one.
First one for
So
sure.
the Stay Puff,
Right?
Great,
beyond the bottle.
Great sticker to represent
So-
Greens Farms for sure.
So is there a date on this? I wrote a date on this.
You
wrote it somewhere.
Open this.
I usually write a date on them.
You didn't. You didn't
The
put a date
9th,
on
same
this
day as the other one.
one.
So same day as the what you call it. So this has been open for about 2
Like, I
weeks.
just took a nice big swig,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I just drank it right down
Yeah.
versus swish. I mean, it's amazing how you actually even drink it. Different complexity that
Sure.
the actual
Sure.
sip will be,
Yeah.
because that was very smooth. Like we said, it was very I just drank it. I can see myself just sitting here drinking this. without
Right
a
now,
problem.
so
Swish it around, and I got that burn, I got the fire, I got the numbness on the tongue.
yeah.
It's
now
great.
to revisit
Totally
we
different, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
also to revisit what we had talked about prior we went on camera. Typically, you're a rocks guy. You like it
Yes.
on ice. So now this is a night that you've actually had everything neat.
Right.
So I think you've been able to kind of like distinguish and pick up some flavors in here that you maybe wouldn't have picked up if it was on ice.
Definitely not. Yeah, absolutely.
And honestly, if you had it on ice now, any one of these, it's going to be different.
Yes.
It's
Right.
Drastically.
to a point where
See,
you
now-
might not like it, or you might even like
now-
it more. It's
now-
going to be night and day.
And for me, this the proof on this is 112. We'll call it we're on to 112.
I'm
would
okay with that.
I would not proof this down. If I had something that was about 130 proof, like I like high proof, but I also would try the high proof with a drop or two of water in it just to see how it opens up.
Yeah.
Like I have a Knob Creek store pick that's 132.
Right? Is that what?
Yeah. So now that's something that is drastically different with a drop or two of water in it.
Okay.
It all of a sudden opens up and explodes a flavor. Almost like Pop Rocks, like that kind of like boom.
Yeah.
Like it's night and it really is night and day. Like I'm
There's more to this than just
this is really
marshmallow
good,
and chocolate.
right?
On the nose.
No, you still get leather. I definitely get leather out of it. Put your nose in there. Leather, a little tobacco, a little cigar.
That's where I was going. I was going to
Cigar.
go with tobacco. You know what?
You get a lot of
It's an
that.
old cigar box.
I was just about when you were going to say I was going to bring me back to Osborne's.
Yeah.
Oh, there
Yeah.
you go.
My father getting his tobacco leaf.
Yep.
That,
Yeah,
right.
that lasting aroma in the
And
back of your nose.
that's the kind of thing like I like to.
We love that
We try
at
to
the end.
describe
Yeah.
what you're smelling, what you're tasting, is real life applications
Yeah.
to what you smell and taste.
Yeah. That
And it brings
definitely-
back memories. Now finish that glass, and I guarantee you let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes.
Empty glass.
And then go and smell it. You're gonna smell tobacco. Maybe it may be
Maybe
like
vanilla,
Right.
caramel.
might wet tobacco, fresh tobacco, might be dry tobacco, might be pipe tobacco, but you're gonna be wowed by it. The next day,
If you
if
leave,
you leave the
so if you
glass
leave the glass
out-
on the bar,
it'll be brown and dark on the
You
bottom.
come back to that?
Smell that? Totally different.
so it's funny. You really do that, and like
Yeah.
you go back, and all of a sudden, wow, I didn't get that before the nose. You say, shit, that's really different.
I'll tell you. So again,
So this was your first time trying this,
it is
not
and
mine,
it's-
but yes.
And Maker's Mark, they're a huge company, right?
Yes.
They're huge. They're like
You can always find a Maker's product at a bar.
yeah. So a regular Maker's, the regular Makers, I've been, I travel for work sometimes, and I go to a bar, and I'm like, all they have
It's
is
not
like
bad pour.
Makers. I'm like, well, all
The
right,
Makers
it's either that or
80 is not-
JD.
Right.
I'll do the Makers, and it's like, all right, I gotta go. But this does taste totally different than any Makers out there.
This is not regular Makers.
It's not, and it's
Even the Makers 46. Makers 46.
I like
is very-
46 a
So
lot.
Makers 46 is a Makers Mark product that they actually they age it for an additional period of time with French oak staves in the barrel to get more oak flavor in it.
Yeah, they throw some
Brings
staves
out
in
more
there,
flavor in the whiskey.
which is part of the barrel.
But like, so now you're seeing like more of a rye mix with the bourbon blend versus a wheated mix.
See,
A little different.
as now the glass is, second pour, it's empty now, it's sitting a little bit.
Small little
I'm
bottle.
getting less marshmallow. And don't get me wrong, there was the marshmallow that you
Off the hop.
mentioned. There was the marshmallow that I thought, the candy marshmallow. But now I'm getting
more tobacco.
more French vanilla on that. Right, somewhere around there. Like a mocha. I'm getting there.
No, the chocolate is still there.
This and it's all types of chocolate. You're right, because it's a chocolate, marshmallow chocolate bomb. But it's not a sweet chocolate. It's not a dry chocolate.
good.
It's a mocha. It's a French vanilla.
Both of your first times having this. What do you think of this? When I open this, I love off a fresh crack. I like this.
So
And I'm not a weedy whiskey person.
so when this came out, I was like, I'm gonna wait a little bit and see. And then you're like, I'm gonna buy it. I'm like, cool, buy it. Let's open it. Let's see if I like it. I'm driving out to Wallingford tomorrow to pick
Buy
up a
one.
bottle of it.
Right.
I'd put a bottle of this in the bar.
So I will go tomorrow and pick it up.
It's good,
I'll see my guys over there and tell them that they did another great pick.
right?
So here again, backstory and me and bourbons and or whiskeys. When I moved into Brantford in
Right.
2007, I had a housewarming party, and here it is. My since high school worked Brantford PD, 11 years, retired, and then
Right.
went to the fire department. And I met all these guys that are all into whiskeys and Manhattans and,
Yep.
and old fashions and all this
Yeah.
stuff.
Sure.
So I have a housewarming party, and here it is. I'm the vodka guy.
Right.
Pouring Jaeger, Goldschlager.
So I got a liquor cabinet in Brantford filled with,
Right.
back in 2007, 3 different bottles of Buffalo Trace. I got different bottles of Makers and all this stuff.
Right.
And they're bringing all this stuff, and I'm like,
Doing all this shit, right?
and they sat there until
That's great.
I kept having people over, and they kept
Drinking it.
It is that bottle. I let you drink it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then now
I
here it
didn't
is.
know.
I wish I had those freaking
Oh,
bottles
yeah.
of Buffalo Trace and stuff back.
Right.
But this is definitely Makers was one of the ones that they'd always bring, and we actually
So
Yeah.
one
a
Halloween
staple.
they did a
It's like Bullet.
crock pot ice cream Makers
Right.
drink.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It was amazing.
Right.
Um,
See now,
but I definitely
No,
this
no,
is
no.
beyond that.
Now the regular Makers makes a fantastic Manhattan, makes a great old fashioned. Like if you want to mix it, they really do.
Yeah, you can make. I mean, there's a lot of that you can make, especially old fashions, and
Absolutely.
we should make some of those.
So like for my
that's
wife,
nice
who's
stuff.
not typically a whiskey drinker, I made her a bourbon cider smash,
Okay.
an apple cider. So I took a regular bourbon, nothing crazy. It was Wild Turkey 101. A little bit of lemon juice, a little bit of apple cider, a little bit of nutmeg. Shook it up, put over fresh ice. She loved it. She went back for a second one. That's not typical.
Perfect.
Very good, great fall time drink. Loved it. But like, there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot happening. Like I said, the more like years ago when we were young and out in bars, there was nothing. There was Jack Daniels, Jim Beam, Old
Right.
Granddad. I mean, those are the ones you found.
Right.
Like
Yeah, it's
occasionally you find a Maker's Mark or a Knob Creek or a regular Elijah
Elijah
Craig.
Craig,
That
yeah.
was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
But I wasn't drinking any of this stuff.
Well, I was.
back-
Well, I was back then. Like
Well, you were.
The
but
Knob Creek.
It was beer and vodka.
Like for me, like the
That's pretty much in
Right.
Goldschlager,
like
Jaeger.
for me, like the higher end drink, like I was a Jack drinker for years, but like for me, the higher end was like a Knob Creek,
Yeah.
a Maker's, or
Yeah.
or
But I
or
never
like
drank
Craig.
any of that
was
stuff
it.
then.
Like those were like a better than what I was drinking.
Yep.
But what do you think? Should we wrap this one? We'll do one on this.
Yeah. So I mean, your thought process on the
What do you
Makers
think? Yeah.
Greens Farms barrel pick. What do you think? Would you buy it?
I would definitely buy it. I'm not refined as much where I'm sensing all the different smells, but I
Sure.
definitely get the chocolate.
Yeah.
I definitely, that is left on my palate. But I'll tell you what, for being the proof it's at, it's a very silky, smooth, subtle scent. And when you drink it, you can easily turn this into a quick sipping.
Yeah.
It
Goes
does.
on easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goes
Now,
on easy.
do me a favor. Smell your glass right now. Tell me how good that smells. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, no, it's left.
It's just-
Honestly,
Right?
I'm definitely,
it's different than what you drink, but
I get,
there's some hints there, right?
here's where I'm definitely
It's
getting
amazing.
like a thick tobacco leaf
Yes.
with the leather
See?
scent that
Mhm.
you mentioned.
Yeah.
Like
See-
like I smell like my old bomber jacket.
Like when I
Yeah, there you go.
when I get that tobacco
That's a great smell.
flavor sometimes out of an empty glass. Like my grandfather used to smoke Topstone Medium. Those old like cheap cigars.
Yeah,
And boxes. We had those boxes. We used to put screws in them. We used to put all kinds of
Yeah,
shit
whatever.
in them.
Baseball
When I was a
cards,
kid.
whatever it is. Kid.
I did. I put my toys in there. So it always like I get every once in a while when I get that smell, it brings me back to that point,
yeah,
and I go, wow. And then to me, it's like that's a home run.
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
It's a home run because I mean
Definitely.
that's like it's a lot of
Yeah,
years as a
my
kid.
grandfather did the White Stone. Yeah,
You
So
know.
there you go.
yeah.
So again, I mean, that's a great way to wrap this
Yeah,
up. I mean,
absolutely.
we brought it to the beginning, to the end, to memories of families and
Yeah.
friends and good times.
That's what it's all about.
And that's what I think that's what drinking bourbon and whiskey is all about.
And that's
Just
what we're
memories
shooting
and
for.
good times.
That's
You
what
know.
we're shooting for. We're shooting for that experience.
Yeah, that's all I
That
want.
American whiskey experience.
That's it.
That's what it's about.
Love it.
You know.
YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Hey
us out.
everyone, check us out. Thanks again.
Cheers.
You know, Jay again. Thanks.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Anytime.